Thinking about moving to Flagstaff? On today's episode, we're going to talk about all the tools you need for surviving the winter. This is Living in Flagstaff. If this is the first time you've tuned into our channel and want to know everything about our beautiful mountain town, please like and subscribe. I'm Jane Bescher. I'm a real estate agent in the Flagstaff area. If you're thinking about moving here in a week, in the next few years, please give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Information is below. I'd love to help you make a smooth move to a beautiful slice of northern Arizona. In this video, I'm gonna go through the top 10 things you should have around your house or would be desirable to have around your house to prepare for winter. Number 10 is WD-40 or cooking spray. This is to put on your shovels. The difference, the range in temperatures, you can get snow. You've gotten 2 feet of snow, you have 2 feet of snow on your driveway, you go outside, the sun comes out, the snow's melting a little bit, you're gonna get sticky snow on your shovel. So putting a little bit of WD-40 or cooking spray or some kind of lubricant that basically helps to get the snow off of your shovel, or you shovel it and then throw it off, it just not stick. That's gonna make your life a lot easier. So just having those around the house. In the event, it's not gonna be every time it snows, but in the event the weather conditions are just right or the temperatures are just right to have sticky snow to your shovels. Number 9, insulated waterproof gloves. You're gonna get wet. I would say this is true in any snow environment, particularly here, you're gonna wanna have some waterproof gloves while you're outside shoveling and removing snow. One thing I'd say that's a little bit more unique to Flagstaff is you're gonna wanna have maybe waterproof gloves that are some are warmer than others. So that sun that I talk about a lot, you can go outside and you've had a lot of snow and the sun is now out, it's 45 degrees or 40 degrees and you're having to remove the snow. Having big, puffy, warm gloves is not ideal for that type of snow removal. But you can also have the middle of a snowstorm and it's snowed a foot and another foot is expected and the snow's coming down, but you want to stay on top of snow removal, then it's nicer to have warm gloves that are much more insulated. So kind of varying degrees of warmness of gloves is a good thing to have around the house. Number 8, an ice scraper. Ice scrapers are probably more useful to have if you have to park your car outside at your home, but no matter what, every car in Flagstaff should have an ice scraper. You're running errands and you're parked in the parking lot and the snow's come down and it's icy snow, it's cold. It's helpful to turn on your car, get a little bit warmed and scrape off the car. If you don't have an ice scraper in the car, it's something you'll definitely regret. I manage and run a lot of Airbnbs in Flagstaff and I always have that available to guests because after years of getting messages from guests that said, do you have an ice scraper? We can't get the ice off our car. We can't see through the window. I learned that it's just something that's always helpful to have around in Flagstaff. Number 7, ice grips. In Flagstaff, I would say a lot of people would call them Catulas. It's a local company here. And I think one of the original manufacturers of the concept, but ice grips that you put on the bottom of your shoes and you wear while you're out shoveling snow. You could also have it just walking around. Some people do. It's icy places, but particularly when you're out shoveling snow, there's a lot of hills or sloped areas in Flagstaff. You're gonna have a lot of homes with steeper driveways or steeper pathways with stairs, whatever. It just is one little thing you can do to put extra grips on your shoes that will prevent the likelihood of falling on ice while you're removing snow. Okay, number 6 is ice melt. Having some ice melt on hand in areas that are not getting sun is a nice little tool. Again, as many areas as you can that are walkways or driveways that can have that south-facing sun, you don't need to worry about putting it there. But if you have north-facing areas that are back doors or paths, having some ice melt around to help melt some of the ice is a useful tool. If you don't want to buy the store-bought stuff, you can make your own. One recipe I saw was some dish soap, some rubbing alcohol, and water. So kind of standard things that most houses have around anyways. So ice melt on hand in times when we have lots of ice. One thing I would say with the ice melt to consider is getting something that's more pet friendly and plant friendly. We live in a pine forest. The ponderosa pines are super sensitive here to changes in pH. So being conscious of getting an ice melt, if you get it from the store, that's pet friendly and a little more outside garden friendly, is a nicer option. But again, you can also make it from some products at home that's safe as well. Number 5 is heat tape. So this is for the roof of your house, and every house, even if you have a lot of south-facing, east-west facing places, you're gonna likely, because it's a square, have a north-facing part of your house. And having some heat tape, which is just a thing that you plug in and it warms up when it snows, and it keeps ice from forming on the edge of your roof, which prevents ice dams. Ice dams kind of are created when there's a bunch of snow on your roof and it can't just leak off of it. So the snow's kind of melting and it gets to the edge of the roof and it has nowhere to go. It wants to go to the ground, it can't. So then it just dams up and creates ice over time. And this is hard on your roof for many reasons. Does damage, can create leaking. Water's gonna find a place to go. So heat tape can save you just a lot of stress down the road by just making sure that the sides of your roof stay melted and so water can drain off easily. Number 4 is a roof rake. This is connected with the heating tape, but getting large amounts of snow off your roof is just gonna create an easier way for your snow to melt and cause fewer roof problems down the road. A roof rake is a very long pole, and at the end is a kind of flat rake looking like thing, and you just put it on your roof and pull, and the snow just comes tumbling down off your roof. You have a high roof, so it's definitely a long pole. Usually there's extensions for depending on how long your roof is, but it's a great tool for making sure that there's draining, and it's gonna prevent icicles melting down and creating risk. It's just a nice tool to have around when you're removing snow, especially after a big snowstorm here. Number 3 is a snowblower. Save up the money, try to make it work. I know it's hard, but a snowblower is definitely a huge help when you're dealing with 2 feet of snow on the ground. Just having something that can kind of toss the snow out of the way. I know, again, we've talked about this before, the sidewalks that have to be plowed for the city requires you to plow. It's nice to just kind of walk down the sidewalk with your snow blower and get it all cleared off. Plus it chucks the snow if you're a big gardener or whatever. I always try to chuck the snow into places where my trees are growing, or I'll have bulbs on the ground, so it's just getting extra moisture in those areas instead of on the cement areas. So snow blowers are a huge time saver if you can get one. I'd highly recommend it. Number 2 is a snow shovel. I'd say this is an essential item to have if you're gonna be here in the winter. I recommend, if you can, getting both a plastic shovel and a metal shovel. I would say at the beginning of storms, plastic shovels are usually super helpful, but if you end up getting a big berm, or you're doing it a few days down the road and there's ice, it's nice to have a metal that can chip away a little bit more at the icy part of the snow. So again, different temperatures require different gear. So having two types of shovels, plastic and metal, is definitely a huge help for preparing for the winter here. Number one is a well-stocked hot cocoa station and a very strong work ethic. So one of the things that Flagstaff residents have to deal with, most of us, is that we've gone out, we're cold, we've shoveled the driveway, we're tired. Come in, have hot chocolate. The snowplow's likely gonna come around in the next hour or two, and then you're gonna have a huge berm, like, well, depending on how much snow we've had, you could get up to 4 feet, you could get up to 3 feet. At the end of your drive, you're not gonna be able to get out anywhere unless you shovel that berm. So, warm up, get your strong work ethic in gear, and then go back out and remove the berm. I'd recommend you make it a 2-step process for winter here, but that's definitely the number one thing you need to survive.
I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to learn more, please like and subscribe. I try to make a video every week. If you are interested in moving here, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Information is below. I'd love to help you with a smooth move to our beautiful mountain town.